Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to Texas in the Xfinity Series and in the Cup Series. And in Xfinity we have a one-off deal with Danica Patrick, who is going to be in the car as a chance to get a good amount of sponsorship money into the team this season. So we would have her in the car just for a one race deal this season. It was suggested by a subscriber, so I figured after I said I would have her in last season, we couldn't make it work, so I figured we would get her in a car for this episode at least, and she would start in the 11th position, which isn't too bad from Danica Patrick as she came through turns 1 and turns 2. She would actually be able to work her way forwards pretty easily, actually, as she came down the back straightaway there, moving herself into the top 10, and she would continue to move up through the field as she would actually get up towards a top 5 position at the midway point of this race, battling alongside former Cup Series teammate of hers, Kevin Harvick, as she came through turns 3 and turns 4, trying to get to the outside of Daniel Hemrick, but it wouldn't quite happen there. And as Danica Patrick came to the final lap of this race, still in that 5th position, battling it out with Ross Chastain as she came through turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time out of turn 4, side by side with Kevin Harvick through the trial. Danica Patrick would come through to finish in the 5th position here in Texas. So a good effort for Danica. Actually was better than I was expecting. Obviously, I mean, she's run good in the past in some Xfinity races. I think she finished 4th at Las Vegas in like 2012 or 13 in an Xfinity race, so she can certainly do pretty good in the series. So now it's time to set our sights on the Cup Series race. Texas is a track that I usually can run pretty good at, and then something goes wrong towards the end, so we're hoping that doesn't happen again today. But as we came through into qualifying through turns 3 and turns 4, I didn't have the best qualifying lap, and that's been kind of the story of the single car qualifying so far for me. But we came through across the line with a 29.339, and we will start in the 16th position here in Texas as you see your qualifying order. So let's get ready to race in Texas.
Hello, race fans. Today, the stars of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series stampede into Texas for the running of the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. In 2017, this 1.5-mile D-shaped oval received a Texas-sized overhaul when a new layer of asphalt was added and banking was reduced in turns 1 and 2 by 4 degrees. Let's head trackside to see if these drivers have mastered this new configuration. Time to go racing on PRN.
Alright, we are ready to go green here in Texas. Martin Truex Jr. on the pole as Ross Chastain. He didn't have a good practice session. The team knows they can do better. There you see Truex on the pole as we get ready to go green as Jamie McMurray crashed during qualifying, so he will be in a backup car sent to the back, which moves me up 1 position to P15 for the start of this race. And we're ready to go green here in Texas. Truex and Harvick on the front row as we get ready, and the green flag is out, and we are underway from the 15th starting position here in Texas behind the 22 Joey Logano, right away on the inside of the 21 of Paul Menard as we head down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Truex off to a good start. The Joe Gibbs Racing team altogether has had a great start to the season. I had a subscriber mention earlier that we're like 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in the standings right now, so certainly looking like a powerhouse team at the moment now as we come down towards turns 3 wide with Almirola. I made a bit of a mistake on the exit of turn 2, making contact with Menard, so we fell back a little bit there as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Almirola going to stick it up the outside of Menard as we come through the trial. We'll complete the first lap as we make it 3 wide on the inside of Menard and Almirola as we head down towards turns 1, trying to regain those lost positions on this first lap now as we move up into the 14th position. Looking to the inside now of Kyle Larson as we make a little bit of contact with him as we come down the back straightaway, but we would continue to follow Denny Hamlin on this inside line by the time it came to lap 3, moving up into the 12th position and looking to his inside and making it 3 wide with him and Chris Buescher, who backs out of the 3 wide as we come through turns 1 and 2, moving ourselves now inside the top 10 as we also pass Ryan Newman and take over the 9th position. So a very good start for us here in Texas. We usually have a really good short run car at this track and a really bad long run car, and by the time we came to lap 13 in the stage, we had worked our way up to the 7th position now on the back of Eric Almirola, pushing him down the straightaway, trying to get past Joey Logano Logano as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4, looking to the inside of the 22 now as we come through the center of the corner, and we're going to be able to get ahead of Joey Logano and move up into the 6th position now as we come through the tri-oval, tailing behind the 10 of Almirola, as Bowman's going to follow behind. Almirola is running good this season. Bowman's running good this season. Usually they struggle a bit, so it's good to see drivers like those guys running good in our career mode right now as we come down the back straightaway. And by the time we came to lap 19 of 20, still in the same position, coming to the white flag in the stage. Bowman, though, he was right on my back bumper as we were coming through the tri-oval to take the white flag in the stage. And as we cross the line, it is 1 to go now in stage 1. Bowman and Larson lurk behind as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2 for the final time in this first stage. Looking to the left rear potentially of Almirola, but unable to get to his inside now as we come down the back straightaway for the final time in the stage. Bowman's going to look to my inside as he catches me a bit off guard as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 now, having to give up that bottom line, and that is huge at a track like this as we're going to lose both spots to Bowman and Larson as we come through the tri-oval. We're going to get P8 in the first stage here in Texas, which is pretty decent. We usually finish around here in the stages at Texas, and then we usually finish a race in like 35th, but hopefully we can change that today. As Truex, he did win stage 1. We would come to pit road, take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and get ready to restart in the same position that we finished the stage in P8. And we're ready to go green now to start the second stage as the green flag is out, and we are on our way once again side by side with the 42 of Kyle Larson, obviously a former teammate back in our second season of the Cup Series now, as it is a 19-lap stage 2 as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2. Not a good start for the outside line. Harvick leads that outside line, and it's not going well now as we come into turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. Kyle Busch looking to my inside as we head down towards turn 3, trying to at least get to the right-hand side of Joey Logano if we can, and we are able to just barely look to his outside now as we try to stick with the 88 of Bowman as well and don't allow a gap between myself and him as we come through the tri-oval to complete the first lap in this second stage. 18 remain in stage 2 as we head down into turns 1. And Martin Truex Jr. is out to an early lead once again here in stage 2 as he's got a good 2 or 3 car lengths between himself and Brad Keselowski. As we have a bit of an audio cutout there as my controller did die, as you notice that happens once in a while now as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4. Kyle Busch continuing to look to my inside as we come through the center of the corner out of turn 4, falling down to the 10th position here within the first few laps of this start in stage 2 as we cross the line. Kurt Busch now looking to my inside as he had a really good start to the season, but Kurt Busch's momentum is certainly fading off these last couple of episodes now as we come out of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway all over Alex Bowman's back bumper now as we head down towards turn 3, trying to get clear of Kyle Busch. And as we go into turn 3, we do get clear and dive to the inside of Bowman, and we would be able to get past him and move up into the 8th position here, and we would continue to follow Joey Logano as we came to lap 6, looking to the inside of Kevin Harvick as we followed Logano to his inside, but we would end up getting a caution here on lap 6 in the stage. And obviously I would not come to pit road as no one else would pit, so we would get ready to once again restart in the 8th position like we have quite a few times already. Now as we're ready to go green, and the green flag is back out. Truex and Keselowski now on the front row as Harvick is no longer in that front row, obviously being on my inside in 7th as we cross the line, hitting 11 laps to go in this second stage. Logano and Blaney side by side up ahead, but obviously the outside line gets an absolutely horrible restart at Texas as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. We need to get a restart on that bottom line if possible here in the future now as we come down the back straightaway, sitting in the 9th position on the outside of Kurt Busch in the number 1 car as we head down through turns 3 and turns 4. We're kind of making a mistake there as I push up the track, but we are able to at least hold on to the car and come out of turn 4 side by side with Clint Bowyer as we almost make contact there as we come through across the line to complete the first lap since the restart. Now as we fall out of the top 10 briefly as we are able to get in behind the 3 of Austin Dillon, so we settle in P12 for a moment now as we come down the back straightaway, a chance to maybe get past the 3 of Austin Dillon, and we're going to take the chance as we send it up his inside going down into turn 3, moving back into the 11th position here in Texas as we look on to the back of Clint Bowyer, maybe looking to his outside, but we thought better of it, and we would continue to move our way forwards as we would actually get all the way up to P7 and look to the inside of Joey Logano for P6, coming to 3 to go in the stage. So we certainly have the speed to work our way forwards. It's just about kind of maintaining it there as we came to the final lap of this stage, still in 6, but Clint Bowyer had moved his way forwards and had gotten to my back bumper as we come through turns 1 and turns 2 for the final lap here in this second stage now as we come out of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway for the final time in stage 2, trying to hold on to a 6th position as we head down towards turn 3 for the final time Boyer looking, but we get a good entrance to the corner as we come through the center of turn 3 and turn 4. Now as we exit the corner, we should be able to hold on to 6 in the stage as Boyer is going to look to our inside as we actually get into the wall, but we would end up getting P6 in the stage as I kind of lost a little. I wasn't paying attention, I should say, as I was coming through across the line there, and we ended up getting in the wall. But Truex wins stage 2, Almirola second, Blaney third, Bowman all the way up in fourth, Harvick in the 5th position as we would come to pit road. 2 cans of fuel again, 4 tires. I was expecting to get shuffled back here, but thankfully we didn't. But once again, we would be set up on the outside line for a restart, so I already knew we were in trouble for this restart as we're ready to start the final stage, and the green flag is out, and we are underway once again here in Texas for the final stage now as 39 laps remain in Texas. If it stays green the whole way, we will have to pit under green as we dive to the inside behind Kevin Harvick. We tried to do a green flag pit stop here last season. It went very bad, so hopefully we don't have to do that again here today as we look to the inside of Austin Dillon as we got hit by him in the right rear as we come down the back straightaway heading down towards turn 3. Truex has dominated this race, and he is looking to continue that dominance right till the end as we look to the inside of Alex Bowman now as we come out of turn 4 heading through the trial. We'll come through to complete the first lap of this final stage now as we head down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Truex in command over second place of Ryan Blaney, third place of Harvick as we look to take fourth place from Eric Almirola as we head down the back straightaway. So continuing to march our way forwards throughout this whole race, and the only problem is how long this last stage is. Usually doesn't play into my favor now as we look to the inside of Kevin Harvick, and we would come through to take away the third position as we would just continue to march our way through the field early on in this final stage as we come across the line now, able to clear Harvick as we went down towards turns 1 and turns 2. And then we would set our sights on the number 12 of Ryan Blaney, who made it to the round of 8 last season in the playoffs in our career mode, and we would be stuck behind him for a handful of laps, but by the time we came to lap 53, a chance to look who was inside as we went down the back straightaway into turns 3, and we would be able to pass Ryan Blaney, and now we'll move into the second position here in Texas, and this is really as far as I could get because once I got to second, I just kind of got stuck, and I couldn't do anything as the car already started falling off, and as we came out of turn 2 on lap 59, Bowman would be able to look to my inside, and I knew I was in trouble right here because as soon as one car gets through inside, it's almost like Martinsville. A whole bunch of cars can just follow through as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, having to let Bowman, Boyer, and Larson come through to pass me as we come across the line now as we drop to 5th with 25 to go. But we would be able to get back to Alex Bowman and look to his inside as he had got shuffled out just like he did to me as we come out of turn 2 down the back straightaway, this time on lap 61. So we would move back up into P4 for a brief moment as we went down into turn 3, clearing the 88 of Alex Bowman there as we came through the corner, and by the time we came to lap 67, still P4, but losing time to the cars ahead. But we would end up getting a caution as there's a slow car up ahead, and I'm assuming that's the reason for the caution was Ryan Truex, who would come to pit road and take 2 cans of fuel, and I was in a big debate. Do I want to take 4 tires or 2 tires? And I felt like we had to at least try the 2-tire stop. We have a win. We can take a risk. It might not work out very well, and we lost positions anyways on the restart as we get ready to start from P7 here late in Texas. And we're ready to go green again here in Texas late with just 15 to go across the line. Truex lost the lead under pit stops, I believe now, so he is in the second position as we head down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Clint Boyer now takes the lead as we go down into turns 1 as we try to look to the inside of Ryan Blaney, and immediately I notice that my fear has come true, that the car is already getting loose with these 2 tires, and I know there's 15 laps to go, and we are certainly in a bit of trouble now as we have made this mistake before at this track, but I was hoping there was a short enough time and the car wouldn't fall off as quick, but unfortunately it's not looking like that's going to happen now as we come through to cross the line to hit 14 laps to go now in Texas as we head down towards turns 1 and turns 2 on the inside of Ryan Blaney there as the car slides around just a little bit there, but we are able to hang on to the car as we come out of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway side by side with the 12 of Ryan Blaney as we head down into turns 3, closing in on the back of Almirola, and Truex now getting a little bit loose again, and it was only going to get worse there as we almost slide down to the apron as we look to the inside of Truex as we come through the trial, but he would be able to stay clear of me, and by the time we came to lap 76, Blaney would get past me as we went down into turns 1 and 2 as the car was just continuing to fall off there as we go for just a slight slide there as we hang on to the car now as we come out of turn 2, big save as we head down the back straightaway. And at this point, we have a bunch of cars behind me as we go down into turn 3, trying to close in on the 12 of Blaney, but we go for a slide, and we're going to touch the apron from it, and we get help going around, and up we go, and over we go, as we have an awful crash here in Texas as we're rolling down the front straightaway, as that's going to completely take us out of this race here in Texas. And this would be our first DNF since Season 2 at Talladega in the number 1 car when we got turned by Daniel Suarez and flipped over there. So not good for us. Clint Boyer came home with the victory. We got out of the car under our own power. We were very fortunate to escape that incident without injury. Obviously, we got very lucky there. I had my subscriber Nathan recommend having injuries possibly and a driver substitute for me if that happens. I'm 100% for that. So in the future that could happen. We might get injured, but we were lucky this time. We got out of the car under our own power and we are okay here in Texas, but obviously our first DNF in a long time. As you guys know, I like to use a DNF system of my own in this career mode. So obviously 39th, not the way we expected this race to pan out, but if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. Clint Boyer came home with the victory. There you see the playoff grid now going into the next episode of Bristol, the short track, one of the better tracks for me that we usually can't win at though. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.